security agencies, the international community, and all lovers of democracy through a dangerous and alarming plot that threatens the peace, stability, and democratic future of Osun State. The Accord National and State Assembly caucus, made up of 6 members of the National Assembly and 25 honorable members of the State Assembly, has received credible intelligence indicating that the candidate of the All Progressive Congress (APC) and the forthcoming governorship election in Osun State, Mr. Bola Oyebamiji, and leaders of the party in Osun State have concluded plans to orchestrate large-scale violence across the state as we move closer to the state governorship election. The plan of the APC in Osun is to increase the current tempo of violent attacks on innocent members of the public and in particular members and supporters of Accord across the state in the next few weeks. The candidates and leaders of the party, having realized their electoral hopelessness and imminent woeful loss, have hatched plots to unleash violence and mayhem in a scale that is unprecedented in Osun State. These include plans to disrupt rallies, peaceful procession, and campaign programs of our party. Very credible intelligence available to us suggests that the sinister plot includes targeted attacks at persons identified with the Accord, further destruction of billboards, vehicles, and other property of prominent Accord leaders and political office holders in Osun State. The sinister plan, which includes possible high-profile assassination, will, in their estimation, prepare the ground for a declaration of state of emergency ahead of the conduct of the state governorship election, already scheduled for the 15th of August 2026. The objective, according to the information at our disposal, is to create a state of chaos and insecurity that could be used as a pretext to pressure the federal government into declaring a state of emergency in Osun State and subsequently appointment of their stooge as administrator ahead of the governorship election. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not political speculation or hearsay. We consider the information before us serious enough to warrant immediate public attention and preventive action by relevant security agencies. In a recent meeting with some traditional rulers, a chieftain of the APC from the East Senatorial District likened the governorship aspiration of Mr. Bola Oyebamiji to the story of some persons in the Bible who forced their way through a roof to get what they wanted when all avenues are blocked. He boasted that the APC was determined to forcefully seize power by all means possible in Osun State. From all available indicators, it is evident that the APC candidate and his handlers have become increasingly apprehensive about his electoral prospects in Osun State. Rather than submitting himself to democratic verdict of the people, information available to us points to a panicky result to violence as a means of achieving political objectives, no matter the number of lives that have to go for it. Regrettably, such actions do not represent what politics should be, but rather a direct assault on democracy and an act of terror against innocent citizens whose only desire is to participate peacefully in the electoral process. This posture and act of desperation are unfortunate, disgraceful, and outrightly condemnable by all persons of good conscience. As the Imole Campaign Council stated in a recent press statement, the public should note that all the victims of recent political motivated violence in Osun State have been members and supporters of Accord and allied political interests. Only a few weeks ago, Mr. Kolade Eluyera, an Accord member in Irewole local government area, was brutally murdered. Similarly, on June 3rd, 2026, the chairman of Accord in Osogbo local government, Honorable Asimiyu Ajibola, was shot multiple times by armed assailants and remains hospitalized while battling for his life. The only crime of those who were most recently shot by the APC thugs in Ife, Owodede, and Osogbo was that they wore branded caps of the Accord. Unfortunately, this incident form part of a growing pattern of violence that have generated fear and anxiety among citizens across the state. Regrettably, the police in Osun State appears a willing accomplice in the execution of the unlawful plans which have begun to unfold. We find it difficult to understand how crimes committed in broad daylight in branded vehicles caught on tapes would not be tracked and perpetrators arrested 72 hours after those shootings. The apparent inability of identify, apprehend, and prosecute perpetrators has emboldened criminal elements and increased public concerns regarding the safety of lives and property in Osun State. We wish to put it on record that since his assumption of office on the 11th of May 2025, the State Commissioner of Police has not deemed it fit to attend the State Security Council meeting more than twice. On all other occasions, he either sent some retired personnel or persons junior to other service commanders to represent him. The orchestrated attempt of the CP to incapacitate the Amotekun corps is another clear danger to the security of our people in Osun State, especially now that cases of kidnapping and banditry are on the rise in different parts of the country. While hundreds of Accord Party campaign billboards were vandalized by non-miscreants without a single arrest, the Commissioner of Police was busy trying to stop the holding of campaign by our party men in parts of the state. The police commissioner, from all indications, has become an accomplice to the plans to turn our state upside down and hand our democratic institutions to hijackers and state captors. This is clearly unexpected, unacceptable, and very unfortunate. Our demands. On the account of the foregoing, we hereby call on the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Olatunji Disu, to immediately redeploy the Osun State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ibrahim Gotan, who has shown himself partisan, highly compromised, and incapable of providing effective security support for the people of Osun State. 2. We call for the immediate arrest and prosecution of persons linked with the various crimes perpetrated against members and supporters of the Accord in various parts of Osun State, especially in the last 3 months. 3. We call on Mr. President, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu to issue a clear directive to security agencies in Osun State to maintain neutrality, professionalism, and zero tolerance for all forms of violence before, during, and after the August 15th governorship election. 4. We urge the civil society, the media, the National Peace Committee, and the international community to pay closer attention to events in Osun State as we move closer to the off-cycle governorship election holding on the 15th day of August. Conclusion. We wish to make it abundantly clear that the people of Osun State desire peace. They are prepared to exercise their democratic rights through the ballot box and not through violence. We therefore urge security agencies, election observers, civil society organizations, and the international community to closely monitor developments in Osun State and take proactive steps to prevent any attempt to derail democracy through violence, intimidation, or unconstitutional means. History will not be kind to those who stand by and watch while democracy is strengthened. We have therefore chosen to speak out today in the interest of peace, justice, and democratic accountability. Thank you and God bless you.
You're welcome.